As promised, I am back to talk about mutual or reactive abuse. BS. I call BS on them. There's no such thing as reactive abuse. There is no such thing as mutual abuse. No way. It is self defense. That's what happens when you are trapped over and over again with the wolf in a den. You are going to defend yourself at some point. Your body can't handle it anymore. Your brain can't handle it anymore. It is literally psychological warfare. That's what's going on. It's intimate terrorism. It's being held as a hostage. Listen, feminist psychologists in the early 70s described the experiences of victims living in these situations as hostages, with the worst part not the physical violence. The worst part was the mind bending of their reality and the fear of what would come next. That's the worst part. We ask victims all the time, why don't you leave? Well, what about this concept? The reality is that we hope that things are going to get better. We hold on to the breadcrumbs in hopes that things are going to get better, but also in knowing that in escape, things will get worse. That if you have a significantly characterologically disordered individual, things are probably going to get worse. And they're going to get like really bad. And so when you have children, when you have a house, when you have a home you've created, it's really challenging. So back to self-defense. When abusers have provoked, they've recorded you, they've called you names you didn't want to be called. Maybe you don't want to be called your mother's name. Maybe, maybe you had an abuser in your life elsewhere and they bring that up, right? Or they say that's your trauma. That's why you behave that way. Or look at that face you're making. Look at what you're doing right there. You're giving me Scorpio eyes, whatever it is, whatever they're going to do. Know that they are purposefully trying to provoke you so they can record you and they want you to come back at them. Again, what do I call that? When that percolating coffee pot explodes, that happens, it's self-defense. It's nothing else. It's self-defense. How long, how many days, months, years have you had to withstand someone putting you down, diminishing you, stripping away your agency, systematically eroding your autonomy? That's what abusers do. Systematically erode your autonomy. That's what's happening. And so give yourself, again, grace, forgive yourself. If you've had a moment of self-defense, it makes sense. Listen, Biderman did this research, right, during the Korean War, and basically created the chart of coercion. And if you look it up, it's utterly amazing because it's exactly what happens in these intimate relationships. But what we know is that he described the coercive stress manipulation tactics used to torture prisoners of war under totalitarian communist regime. These were adult men who were being tortured by their prison guards. And eventually they would be worn down and acquiesce and even align with their oppressors. Research affirms the human condition can easily be manipulated with so much at stake. And so what do we know? If you are trapped over and over and over and over again, your body's going to respond. It just makes sense. It's okay. We have not all behaved in the ways that we would outside of these relationships. When we're in these relationships, we behave in ways that are different because they are not safe. These are not safe relationships. So, sending light and love to everybody. Bye.